The staff is made up of 5 lines, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 4 spaces, 1, 2, 3, 4. Each line and space represents one of the white keys on the piano. If we were to make the lines just as big as the spaces are, our staff would look like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lines, 1, 2, 3, and 4 spaces. And if I turn it sideways like this, we could see how each one of the lines and spaces lines up and represents one of the keys on the piano, where this line here represents E, and then the space is for F, G, A, B, C, and so on as you would go up the staff. We have then what we call line notes, and those are notes that have a line going through the middle of them. And then we have space notes, which are inside of the space. So going up the staff, the notes go line, space, line, space, line, space, line, space, line, where each one of these represent a note on the piano, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F. E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, and F. E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, and F. When reading our music, oftentimes we'll talk about intervals, and intervals are the distances between 2 notes. When we go from a line note to the very next note, we could have a space note. We call that a second, first, second, or sometimes it's called a step. We step, in this case, we're stepping up. It's going higher on the staff, and it's also going up higher on the keyboard. So from here to here is a step, or what we call a second. If we look at our large size staff, we can see we're going from our line right here, that would be our E, and stepping up to the very, very next key would be right there on the space. So a line note to the next space, going from E to F. First, second, that's our second. We can also have a second that goes then from a space to a line. Anytime we move from one note to the next door neighbor note, whether it's going up as shown here or going down, going to the other direction, it's a step or a second. Another interval that we learn about early on in learning how to read music is a third, also known as a skip. So a skip is when we go from one note, skip over where there could be another note. In this case right here, we're going to skip over what could be a space note to this line note. So from this line to the next line is a skip, also known as a third. 1, 2, 3. If we look at our large scale staff for that, we could see that we could be on the E line, and then we're going to skip over this key right here, and then we'll be on the next line note, which is G. So moving from E, skip over that note, go to G. That's from line to line. That's a skip or a third. We could also have skips that are on spaces like this, where we're on the space F, skip over the line note, go to the next space note, which is A. So on the regular size staff then, that third would look like this. From here, space, to the next space where we're skipping over that line note. So that is also a skip, also known as a third. 1, 2, 3. These are all ascending or stepping up and skipping up because we're going from a lower note to a higher note, lower to higher. And all of these intervals could be reversed, going lower as well, starting on a higher note and going lower. And that's a little introduction to the lines and spaces on the staff, how they relate to the keys on the piano. and the first beginning small size intervals to learn.